If you are not testing ad creative on a regular basis and at scale, then you should be. And this is why. The way that I describe testing ads to clients is, would you rather have 50 tickets to win the lottery or 3? You'd rather have 50, right? Because that's a lot more chances to win a lot of money. And it goes the same way when you look at testing your ads. Would you rather test 50 ads and have 50 chances to find a winner, or would you rather have 3 ads with only 3 chances of finding a winner? You would always go down the route of having more, because when it comes to ad creative, and especially with new platforms like TikTok, the more ad creative you have, the more chances that you're giving the platform to find a winner. And then if you have 50 pieces of ad creative, it also gives you a much better idea in terms of data of what is working. Essentially, you have a bigger sample size. If I went onto the street and I asked 200 people a question and the other person only went and asked 3, then I'd have much more data to play with than the person that asked 3. And that's what a lot of testing is. It's just collecting as much data as you possibly can in order to aid you to make the best converting ad. We're mostly going to be talking about testing ad creative, as that's what we do here at Fraggle a lot, but you can test your audiences, your ad copy, essentially any type of variable you can test, and you should be testing. By testing different ads, you're essentially narrowing it down until you find the perfect formula. So switching things out, adding things all the time so that you can slowly build up the perfect advert, which might at least work for a few months, and then you start the process all over again. If you're not testing, then you're essentially going in completely blind and just hoping that your skill level and your experience is enough to know what is going to convert, and most of the time that just doesn't work. Social media is incredibly unpredictable, and your customer a lot of the time is also unpredictable, so you need to make sure that you're testing so that you can learn about your customer and see what's working. In my opinion, there's a few things that you should be testing on a regular basis, and one of them is the hook. The first 3 to 5 seconds of your ad is the most important thing, and actually the easiest thing for you to keep on changing. And as you change it, you will visibly be able to see if that has made a difference or not. You can also use this data in order to find out what people don't like about your product or your offering. If you're finding that people are switching off quite a lot of the time, like 4 or 5 seconds into your ad, then have a look. What is happening at 4 or 5 seconds that's making people switch off? All of this is possible with testing. That's why you should never just make one ad and pin all your hopes on that one ad, because the chances is that you're going to get pretty bad results and you're not going to have any kind of idea of what good results are, because all you're doing is testing one creative. Also, by testing allows you to find out things about your customer that you might not actually know. A good example of this is when we spoke to Alexa Kilroy on the D2C podcast. There's a link down below to check that out. And through their testing and research, they found that there was a whole different demographic of customers that were buying their product away from their usual people, which were parents and children. This is something that they only found out through testing. That's why it's so important, because it can unlock a whole new batch of customers that you never even knew were there. And when it comes to testing, a lot of ad platforms give you a lot of options in order to make it easier for you. One of them on Facebook is dynamic ad creative. Essentially, you can add all your creative into a pool, and Facebook will do the hard work for you by making all the variations, putting them all together and delivering them to batches of people until it finds that winning combination. There's also more traditional ways of testing your ads, such as A/B testing, where you test this versus this and you see which one comes out on top. You can also just create a load of ad sets and then manually look at the data in order to see what's performing the best. Whenever you're testing creative, you need to make sure that your KPIs are in place. What metrics are you looking at that when they pass a certain point, that's a winner for you? It could be a really good click-through rate, it could be a great return on ad spend, or it could just be that your overall conversion rate is much higher than usual. You need to have these KPIs in place so that when you're looking at ads, you actually know, well, what's good and what's bad. If you're not already testing ad creative, then hopefully this has given you an insight into why you should be testing it and how you can go about testing it. If you want, have a look through my YouTube channel. There's plenty of videos on there about how you can go ahead and test some ad creative, so make sure you go and check them out. And if you've enjoyed the video, then hit subscribe. And if you've enjoyed it a heck of a lot, then hit like and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.